Afrotropolis Wonderland was a showcase that kind of merged film, fashion, and art, and tied it all in with about 4 themes that kind of came from African and Black history. One being Nsidibi, which we'll talk a little bit more about. It's ideography or iconography from Nigeria. And also the Black Panthers was another theme that we explored. And we also explored musical ancestry. And lastly, we went into Anansi the Spider, which is a folklore character in the West Indies and also in West Africa.
Let's talk a little bit about the inspiration. Obviously, there's heavy use of color and patterns in your fashion line.
Right.
Could you talk a little bit about the relevance of some of those patterns, like the iconography that goes on behind it, and what was the inspiration there?
Yeah, definitely. I was inspired by, in the first set of the show, the first patterns you see are inspired by a writing system called Nsidibi, and it's from southeastern Nigeria, and it was a secret language that you can still find scribbled all over the place, but most people don't know how to read it. But fortunately, some people documented it before the last people who could read it passed away. So initially, I was trying to create more meaning by combining these signs, and then I got more into just the aesthetic of the signs and how they looked. So what we wanted to do, I approached Jimmy Chiali, who's a phenomenal artist, and he's heavily inspired by street art and graffiti. And I kind of felt there was a natural overlap, you know, in the same way that not everybody can read graffiti. I can put a tag up on this wall and only maybe 3 people can read it, but it's something that it takes a bit more time to appreciate and to learn. So we want to sort of create this modern take on it, which is in line with everything that you know, that I'm trying to do. Is not to simply go in the past and you know, and say boom, here it is, but to somehow update it so that even if it's not recognizably African all the time, the inspiration definitely comes from there, and it's something fresh that it was neither the old stuff, and it's not something that we've seen in recent times either. That world behind was Afrotropolis Wonderland, which we had already explored in the film. So in writing the script for the film, I was also thinking about a way to keep people in the moment longer. So the whole idea was to show the film, do the runway show, and then give you an opportunity to relive everything again, the fashions and also that world. And so each world has its own theme. So for example, with the musical ancestry theme, we have the gold frames that were in the movie, but we also have the candles to symbolize, like, you know, a vigil, or you know, or like libations. And then we also had a reproduction of the poster that was used to promote the events, also there. And my favorite one, and I shouldn't really have favorites, but I do. My favorite one was definitely the Anansi one, where it had the webs, crisscrossing, and it looked amazing when they stood in it. And also the Nsidibi symbols, where we actually built with metal from scratch some of the iconography that we had discussed. I think, again, it's just about extending that moment, because like fashion shows are, you know, so much work, and yet it's over in like 15 minutes max. You know, even if it's a really big show, maybe half an hour. And since there's so much work that goes into not just preparing for the show, but the ideas that are being explored in the show, I thought it would be a good idea to really bring that to life.